Hey Floss Tube, it's Ginger with GraceFull Stitcher. This is my second floss tube. Thanks again to Lori at Textilist and Lisa at Kindred Stitcher for encouraging me to do floss tube. I've been watching for a couple of years and it has been so enjoyable, and I've learned so much from so many different floss tubers. Got to meet Lori and Lisa at the Dying to Stitch retreat, which was so much fun for everybody, I'm sure. So anyway, big thank you to them. And I also wanted to give a shout out to my sweet friend Lisa, and she does floss tubes as well. Her name is Lisa Stitch and Stable, and she's got a great sense of style and has got some wonderful floss tubes. I was at the Dying to Stitch retreat in the shop, and the owner called out my name, and she says, Ginger Wilkins in the shop. I thought, oh, I hope everything's all right. And she said, this is for you. And she brought up a little envelope that had a gift certificate from Lisa. And that was just, I've never had anything like that happen. So it was just so special to be remembered that I was there, and Lisa timed it just perfectly. We met at a retreat at the Silver Needle last summer, and we've kept in touch. So you just meet lots of new friends, and it's been really fun since I've gotten back into cross stitching. I had a period of time where I didn't pick it up very much. I got a new job about 10 years ago, and we moved. I live in North Carolina, and we moved. It was a good opportunity for me to be closer to my parents, and it's worked out great. But it just, you know how that kind of takes your time when you're adjusting to new circumstances, a new home. But I'm back really on the bandwagon. I've been stitching every minute I can for the last 2 or 3 years, so I'm excited to share things with you. I'm going to try to keep this to under 15 minutes because I know I can figure out how to do this, but I just haven't had time to research it. And if I upload just to YouTube, it will take a video of less than 15 minutes. It might take me 2, and then the last one will be a haul video because I know not everybody wants to see that. But I've been really busy stitching and finishing. The finishing bug, thank goodness, has really gotten to me. I'm going to show you what I've been working on first. And first of all, show you a really, excuse me, many years in the making, right? So this is, you'll know it, it's Prairie Schooler. I started it 2 years ago. I hope I can get it finished in my lifetime. I'm going to do it as a panel of 3. And if you watch Jessie Marie Does Stuff, that's where I got the idea. And I love her idea of doing it in 3 separate framed pieces. So I just love it. I just don't get around to working on it as often as I should. It's on 40 count sand, and I don't know that I didn't bring the details down that I write down in my book, so I apologize for that. The other thing that I've been working on, you'll all know this one, is Hoity Toity. And the colors are really good. So I'm using 3640, it might be, I'm sorry. Again, Legacy. Isn't that pretty? I substituted some colors. The background, I think, is charted for black DMC, but I am using black coral from Dinky Dyes, which I love for all my dark black. It's a little softer than the stark black. So if you have questions on that, just let me know and I'll get back to you on that. Again, I'm trying to just work through a few things. This morning, it's Memorial Day here in the US. I thought it fitting to work on my little Lizzie Kate Liberty. And it's my first time using this sulky thread, and I really like it. So one of the sulky equals 2 ply of DMC or fancy floss, whatever you call it. So it's working up really nice and quick. I should finish that in a day or two. I'm frogging out a flower. I don't know if I was still asleep this morning, but I put it way over on, way too far over, but it's not a big deal. Let's see. Let me show you some finishes. This is really old, and it's needlepoint. I mean 25 years, 25 years, and it's been laying on the table in my sewing room, been moved from house to house. I finally said, you know, I really need to finish this. So I had the perfect little trim ribbon around the back of that. I laced it around I think it's a 4x4 square canvas mat that you can pick up at Hobby Lobby. And there's just a black and white polka dot around another piece of cardboard, and the mat came with this black frame, and I thought it was just perfect. So it's not cross stitch, but it's needlework, and I do not do a whole lot of needlework, but I enjoy it when I do it. Another thing, and I'm skipping around because I forgot where I put this. Y'all, I did samplers last time, but again, I'm always working on a few samplers. This is Catherine Theron, Theron, and I think it's called Colonial Sampler. It is all DMC, but look how beautiful the colors are. You don't have to have fancy floss. And it's plain old linen from a tube. This again is 20-some years old, and yes, I need to finish it. But what is kind of holding me back is right up in here, these two motifs, they're kind of round medallions. They're all queen stitches, and I don't mind queen stitches, but if you've ever done them, it's like one queen stitch is 20 cross stitches. So it just kind of got a little tedious, and I put it down, but I have to finish the verse. It's over 1, but that's not a big deal. And I'm almost done. And anyway, I think that's a real classic sampler. And if you like Catherine Theron, here's a piece that I did at least 20 years ago. And to me, it's just as beautiful today as when I stitched it. It's called the Shepherdess. It is again, the colorways that I like, the reds with some gold, green, and blue, pretty classic. There is some 1/1, but it's not terrible, and it looks like, I believe it's on 36 count. Again, just plain cream Belfast linen. So you get, you know, I love all the hand-dyed stuff, but it's fine to not do it, I think. I'll show you what I was working on finishing this morning. This is, I'm doing throwback, man. I find all this stuff in my sewing room, and I'm like, I've got to finish it up. So, very old Prairie Schooler. Isn't that sweet? And I just need to lace the back and get it in this frame, and it's good to go. And I'm not going to put glass on it because I've learned from my fellow floss tubers, you don't have to put glass on everything. I worked on this to finish FFO this morning. I get up early, so I ramble around the house, and I'll, you know, think of things to do other than housework, I suppose. So this is a Lizzie Kate. Again, I've got it on the gingham, put the rickrack around it. I'll do that and then figure out what else to do. Saturday, I got this kind of pieced together. It's not exactly like I want it, but I'm getting there. I fiddle around with things a lot, and I test drive them, and if I don't like them, I redo them. Like right now, I think I'm going to trim this out with some of this little rope trim, just to give it a little bit of a cleaner edge. I think you can see what I'm talking about. And this little paddle I bought at the Silver Needle last summer, and they're really handy for displaying items. And I would do the Priscilla and Chelsea thing and use washers and magnets, and then you could switch this out. Right now I've just got Velcro on the top, and I'll switch that out. I was just kind of in a hurry to get something going. This morning I finished this little Prairie Schooler. This is just one of the small squares off of the July Prairie Schooler, and this is just a little canvas mat. So I'll figure out how to get that on there, kind of quilted it up and get that going. It's a process for me. I don't usually ever finish something all in one sitting. I don't know, I have to do part of it and then think about it and then another part of it. No wonder it takes me forever, but that's just the way I roll. This one I love, and I've got to get the back in it. It's not quite, but look at this. This is Prairie Schooler March. When I started back into cross stitching, I thought, ooh, 40 count, I'm gonna try that. And you probably can't tell, but I don't know. Sometimes I just jump into things. This house has got 2 strands on 40 count. That's not gonna work. Well, I hate to rip it out. I had already gotten a good start, and I was like, I'm not doing that. So I don't know what y'all think, but I'm okay with it. And then the rest of it is 1/1, but really? So I started it 2 years ago, and I finished it this like March 31st. And so you see, it doesn't exactly fit this long skinny frame, which is beautiful. I picked it up at a store near the beach, and he just put old scrap pieces together, but I love the bronzy kind of look on that frame. So added to the bottom a strip of gingham and lace to kind of balance it. So use what you have, right? I'm really tickled with that. Love that daffodil. And I did use some called for and some I substituted. I don't always like the completely flat effect of the Prairie Schooler, although I love them. They're classic. But I'm a fan of fancy floss, so I like to incorporate that. I'm going to stop this, upload it, and do another one because I'm at 13.5 minutes, and I think that maybe 2 will be enough. Thanks. See you soon.